Jennifer Connelly fans rejoice. Her new movie, Bad Behaviour, has just premiered, and I couldn't be more excited. I know you're no different.
You're not a bad person. It's just bad behavior.
In this dark comedy, Jennifer plays Lucy, a former actress who hit it big in her childhood, but is now a woman embittered by the world.
Absurd and uncomfortable and awful and sad.
Hits close to home for Jennifer, also a former child star, doesn't it?
Willing to share a shame?
We're in a youth culture, and I'm scared that it's all going to go away.
I mean, after that, I guess I'm kind of ashamed to be over 40.
She's on a mission to find peace and enlightenment by attending one retreat after another.
I'm gonna be on a semi-silent retreat in the wilderness.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, achieving inner peace is not as easy as it sounds. Lucy heads to yet another retreat, this time led by a popular guru, in hopes of healing those pesky childhood traumas.
Give in to hope.
And guess what? The film also marks the directorial debut of actress Alice Englert, daughter of Oscar-winning director Jane Campion. What do you call it again? A Nepo baby? Oh, never mind.
Can't not mention your mother, ever nominated twice for Best Director at the Oscars. So for you, following in her footsteps, what is that like?
Oh gosh, I mean, well, when you hear all that.
Englert herself plays Dylan, Lucy's unloved and resentful daughter who works as a stuntwoman in New Zealand. Talk about family drama.
Why do you act like I hate you? Because you act like you hate me.
Jennifer Connelly's performance is a show stealer. Jennifer Connelly brings Lucy to life with a mix of selfishness, independence, and a bit of attitude. It's enough to give chills not just to her daughter and lawyer, but also to us viewers.
Stopping you from being enlightened right now.
This is Connelly's first major role in a long time, and you can really feel her acting hunger and desire to express herself.
When I read the script, I was like just crying, laughing when I read it. The idea of playing the scene, and we had such a good time doing it. You know.
Spoiler, she absolutely nails it.
Thanks.
I may be wrong, but it looks like her impressive acting skills might stem from living through both the ups and downs of life, alongside her powerful love story with Paul Bettany. Imagine marrying your longtime crush. Well, that's exactly what happened to Paul Bettany and Jennifer Connelly. It's almost as if Paul had been waiting to meet Jennifer for most of his life, or at least since he was around the age of 15. But before they actually entered into a relationship, one of them had to go through unbelievable tragedy, twice. As a child model and actor, Jennifer Connelly landed her first film role in the now classic Once Upon a Time in America at the tender age of 13. She followed it up with the lead in the fantasy movie Labyrinth opposite David Bowie, which brought her mainstream attention only 3 years later. Across the Atlantic, at his home on the grounds of a Hertfordshire boarding school, 15-year-old Paul Bettany fell madly in love watching the teenage actor on screen and vowed to marry her. The actor spent his teenage years on the grounds of a girls' boarding school in Hatfield, Herts, where his dad was a teacher. But he admits it didn't lead to any romance with the upper-class pupils at the school. The fantasy of being a teenage boy living next to a girls' school didn't live up to the reality, Paul said. He was close to siblings Sarah and Matthew, but was left devastated when his little brother fell from the roof of a sports hall and died. Paul was 16, and Matthew's death, at just 8 years old, ripped the family apart. He was missing the person who was the most important to him at the time. His big breakthrough came in 2001, when he starred as medieval author Geoffrey Chaucer in A Knight's Tale, alongside Heath Ledger. It was this role that would lead to his meeting with Jennifer. It happened after director Ron Howard saw his performance and cast him in A Beautiful Mind. And while Paul remembered his attraction to his future love was instant, their reactions to that first fateful meeting were very different. I remember meeting him at the first read-through, Jennifer said. I thought, he's really good, that guy. At the time, Paul was dating A Knight's Tale co-star Laura Fraser and Jennifer, who had a 3-year-old son, Kai, with photographer David Dugan, was rumored to be dating Russell Crowe. Paul kept his feelings hidden, and when the film wrapped, the pair went their separate ways. Clearly, we noticed each other, and clearly, we liked each other, says Jennifer. I have very strong feelings about things that are right and things that aren't, and that was all very clear. For both Connelly and Bettany, A Beautiful Mind marked a turning point in their careers. The former, a revitalization, and the latter, a bridge to fame. The movie earned 8 Academy Award nominations. It won 4 Oscars, including Best Supporting Actress for Connelly. Unlike many co-stars, the couple didn't date while filming. As Connelly explained, they knew better than to get involved in anything on set. She said, "We've both had enough on-set relationships to know that they don't work, and you need to walk away from them." But a year later, another tragedy struck and made the actor act reasonably quickly. Paul was filming in Tuscany when the horrors of the 9/11 attack on New York's Twin Towers unfolded. Out shopping for groceries, he joined a crowd outside a cafe, just in time to see the second plane hit the second tower. His first thought was that he needed to call Jennifer. Like so many people's lives in that moment, mine was changed forever. Bettany spent 2 days calling and calling in an attempt to get her on the phone, and when he did, he had what might have been a surprising proposal. I remember thinking to myself, "What are you doing?" Then realizing I was in love. When I finally got hold of her, I said, "I'm coming over, let's get married." Amazingly, Jennifer agreed, and Paul prepared to pack up and move to the States to be with her. The couple wed in a private family ceremony in Scotland on New Year's Day. Barely 4 months after getting together, Paul described the wedding as Victorian because the couple didn't live together first, and the wedding party played Twister at the reception. Yeah, I totally faked my way into that one. Poor Jennifer, as she slowly realized how ill-educated I was, he jokes. She's much better at reading than me. I just sound like it because of the English accent, that's all. Connelly also marveled at the fact that, despite being someone who had previously been cautious about marriage, it's amazing that her life with Bettany progressed as rapidly as it did. She previously was engaged to ex-boyfriend Bill Campbell for 5 years, as she waffled back and forth on whether to tie the knot. After all my caution about marriage, I was proposed to, married, and had a child in the space of a year, she said. Connelly says that part of their strength as a couple comes from their different dispositions, noting that her husband is infinitely more engaged with people and comfortable in any room than she is. I'm more reserved. I can be kind of shy in a group. I mean, I manage it pretty well, but he's much more outgoing than I am. Of course, anyone in a happy long-term relationship knows there's more to it than who likes to talk and who doesn't. They have also supported one another through challenging times in their personal lives and successful times in their careers. After the wedding, Paul packed up and moved to Brooklyn, where Jennifer grew up and where the family still lives. Stellan and Agnes Lark soon joined Jennifer's son, Kai, and all three went to the same primary school their mother attended as a child. Bettany slid into the role of stepfather with a tremendous amount of ease. In 2012, Bettany told Anderson Cooper that all 3 kids are incredible. They're all such extraordinary kids and they're great together. They never fight. They look after each other. They're loving. Paul Bettany might be one of the best when it comes to husbands who love to wax poetic about their wives. While speaking to the Binge Guide, the actor explained that of all the roles he's ever had, being a family man is the one that he ranks as the best. It's hard not to talk in platitudes about it, he said. All I can tell you is that I think my children and my marriage saved me.